Electric vehicles have started penetrating the Indian market. The government aims to have EV sales accounting for 30% of private cars, 70% for commercial vehicles and 80% for 2- and 3-wheelers by 2030, as there's an immediate need to decarbonize the transport sector. With the rising demand for EVs, the major question which comes to mind is the charging infrastructure and its management. In this part of the series, we'll feature Numocity, a digital SaaS platform for energy delivery to electric vehicles. It's an intelligent charging management platform for managing and monetizing infrastructure of energy-as-a-service companies.
Way back in 2017, we started this journey into electric vehicles. It was early days, a lot of interesting and exciting things happening, but only at a policy level, at a talk level. So way back in 2017, when we discussed with a lot of CXOs on technology requirements, one thing came out very clearly, that this industry has 4 different pillars on which it will be built on. So we realized that automotive companies are the first pillar, where they will change the vehicles, the powertrain, the battery and all of that. And the second industry which will get majorly impacted is the energy industry, because they have to fuel these vehicles. But what everybody missed at that point was that you equally need IoT and connectivity to connect all these devices, because the new generation looks at every connected devices, no longer isolated equipment. The last part is where we came in, is that you suddenly realize that when all of them are connected, there is a need for a lot of data, a lot of software, and you have to connect all of this. And the story which we were talking about, big data and cloud and analytics, are very much a need in EV to prosper and to grow. So with that premise, we started Numocity. That's the reason why we called the company Numocity 2, which means new user experiences, mobility and electricity. That's how the Numocity name came up. So we kept our vision and focus on looking at EV charging or everything around energy business. So we called it as energy as service, a new name we coined during that period, and we said it should be energy as service, because people are going to consume energy for electric vehicles. And that's what's our genesis, and that's how we started our company.
Numocity has designed a visionary cloud-native technology platform using the latest software architecture, keeping in mind the requirements of the emerging EV markets across the globe. This system has been built for scale.
At Numocity, we began our journey by focusing on energy delivery to vehicles. So our initial product focus was on building systems which managed all the equipment which was responsible for managing this energy delivery. So primarily we started focusing on charging systems, so developing software systems which enable management of charging of vehicles. We also focused on battery swap systems, because as we understand, the industry has taken multiple approaches to solve the problem of charging fast. So either you have fast charging, or you could have convenience of charging at home. At Numocity, we have had the opportunity to build solutions not just for the charging market, but also to battery swap systems.
Our main business is with players called charge point operators. We call them as CPOs. These are the players who will install electric vehicle charging equipment and do a business out of it. They are like the petrol pumps, they are like the oil and gas companies who set up infrastructure. So we will have CPOs setting up this infrastructure. So a primary business partner for Numocity are the charge point operators. We provide our technology to them. So there is also, of course, a perception that the software is all about the mobile app and it is being used by end users. That's only a part of the story. Users get to use the mobile app to discover, to start charging, to make payments. But whereas you need a strong backend cloud platform which will connect to each one of these chargers, and they manage those chargers in terms of fault, in terms of configurations, in terms of accounting, in terms of also making sure that they are always operational. So I think that is where Numocity's technologies get involved, and we provide the complete end-to-end digital software as a service platform for charge point operators. Globally, it is seen that by 2030, the software and technology market in the EV space is going to be around $6 billion, which is a sizable market. And our vision, our aspiration is that we want to be one of the top 3 vendors globally, a product company which is made in India, but for the world market. I think that's been our vision. That's what we are working towards. We already are looking at several countries where Numocity's platforms are used by charge point operators. And we believe the market is going to grow and expand in the coming years. And that's where we are very excited about.
Also, when we look at electric mobility, it is not just one type of vehicle. We have vehicles of all kinds of form factors and sizes. We also need to ensure that the source of energy needs to be as green as possible. So in that light, we have also tried to see how it is possible to incorporate renewable energy, and all other forms of greener sources of energy can be incorporated.
Today, technology means for me 3 things. The topmost is the people. Second is a process which people perceive as reliability. If you have a good process, the same thing happens every time you do something. That reflects as reliability of the product. And lastly, the tooling, which is, you can hear a lot of tooling in the industry like Node.js, Flutter, Kafka and all of that. That all comes for me at the bottom of the list, because the people have to be on the top, put in charge.
EV charging, people have a major issue of range anxiety, and that's where the EV charging point comes from. Because when you have an electric vehicle, the first thing which you are worried about is where do I charge, how do I charge my vehicle. Now, where do I charge? The question is a nascent question now, and then early days, the reason is we don't know where the chargers are. If you look at a parallel, when you look at a fuel station, a petrol or a diesel, you are not always searching on a Google map to find out where they are, because you know where they are over the years. And this is going to happen even in EV charging. So the first fear is, where are the chargers? So that is where a lot of apps are coming up now, which are offering you locations of chargers where you can discover the chargers. But over a period of time, I think this will go down, because when you know where the chargers are, you don't have the anxiety of searching for the chargers. So the next fear which a lot of people have is, when I go to the charger, is the charger available or not? I think a lot of people have this problem that the charger they feel is available, but when they go there, it is not there. Unlike a fuel pump, because you need to charge to go forward, it's a fear. So it's a issue, it's a fear for people. So a platform like ours at Numocity, we have a lot of algorithms, a lot of AI algorithms which ensure that the status of the chargers are shown in the right way, are shown in the way that you are very accurate when you go there. The last part is people's fear is, how long does it take to charge, and can I charge in that? So there are 3 types of charging equipment. One is the AC chargers, which are called the slow chargers, fast chargers or the DC chargers. And third category, which is very unique to India, are the 2-wheeler and 3-wheeler chargers, because these are not utilizing the AC DC. They are actually smart sockets into which you can plug in your 2-wheeler and charge. So when one as an EV owner, you look at where do I charge now, plug point is available at your home all the time. So this is called the destination charging. You can charge anytime. I think that fear has to go away. People should not worry about it. Second is when you come to DC charging, fast charger, there are 2 types of connectors in India right now, predominantly used, GBT and CCS2. CHAdeMO will come with certain kinds of models. All 3 will exist, so you just have to know where your vehicle can be charged, and once you are there, fast chargers will give you anywhere between half an hour to 2 hours and you will be charged. And that's where most of the time it's called opportunity charging, because you will only charge as much as you want and where you have an opportunity to charge. So the hotels, the restaurants, the highways will all have fast chargers. They will not have AC chargers.
I have purchased a Tata Tiago petrol car, and I have a second thought of going for a Nexon car. That's electric vehicle. I have already purchased for that, and there is an application called the Numocity Current app. So in that app, we can get to know where exactly the charging point is, and we can get to know how to charge that. And in that application also, we can will get to know how to the transactions also get deducted. And it's a very user-friendly app wherein everyone can use.
Application is quite easy to use, so you can here see all the chargers available in your vicinity, and you can go to any charging station and connect the charger to the car. Once you connect actually from the app, you can see that it's been connected, and you can click on the charging station and you can start the charging.
So Numocity tries to differentiate itself by putting the user at the center of the whole problem space we are trying to solve for. So we try to give the user the most personalized and the most convenient experience when he is consuming charging. So we want to spare him the hassle of worrying about technology and more concerned about giving him a great experience. Also in terms of technology, our investment has been building systems which can scale in order to enable a rapid and large-scale adoption of electric mobility. So we believe both technology edge as well as the customer centricity is what gives us a differentiator in this market.